So some of you were with me yesterday to learn this and some of you were not. If you've already learned it, it's not going to hurt you to hear it again. So just kind of follow along. Everybody needs to take out their math journal, open up to the next clean page and put metric length. If it's already there, wonderful. If not, please write it in now. The first thing we're going to start with is the millimeter, which is abbreviated as mm. This is the smallest unit of measure for metric length. Okay, it's smaller than an inch. It's the smallest that we're going to work with. It's so tiny that we don't use it very often. It's about the thickness of a penny. Okay, and I'm going to put a picture up so you can see what I mean when I say the thickness of a penny. Okay, imagine a coin. It's not very thick. It's pretty tiny. Okay, it doesn't take up a lot of space. So when I'm looking at the millimeter, I'm not looking at the distance across from one side to the other. I'm looking at how tall it is, or the thickness here, that ridged area. That is approximately 1 millimeter. We also have the little microchip. Those are about 1 millimeter. So the things inside of your phone, inside of your computer, your tablets, those are about 1 millimeter. So please make sure that you have this down, that the millimeter, abbreviated mm, is the smallest. And it's about the thickness of a coin, that ridged area, not necessarily the distance across, but kind of up and down, the thickness. Okay, the next smallest is a centimeter. So I'm going to so we have more space. A centimeter is the next smallest. This is close to the closest metric to an inch. It takes about 2.5 centimeters to make 1 inch. So a centimeter is smaller than an inch, but it is the closest that we have. Okay, so if we were going to be measuring with an inch, if we wanted metric, we would do the centimeter. And the centimeter has lots of different things that it could be equivalent to. It could be a small paper clip. It could be those unit cubes that we used for addition and subtraction, the ones that represented the 1. Those are centimeters. So a centimeter is pretty small. It's not as small as a millimeter, but still small. So here is what I mean when I say a unit cube that we used for decimals and subtraction. We also have the distance across your fingernail. So from one side of your nail to the other is approximately 1 centimeter. So if you look at your finger from one side of your finger to the other, that's approximately 1 centimeter. And it takes about 2.5 centimeters to measure an inch, to get to an inch. So both of these things represent a centimeter across your nail and the unit cubes that we use during math. Okay, please get this down in your notes if you don't already have it. And I'm going to get rid of these so that we have some space. Okay, next is the meter. The meter is similar to the yard. It's very close to the yard in length. It's actually 3 inches more than a yard, approximately. So a meter is about close to 39 inches. So if you were going to use a yardstick to measure, in the metric system you would use a meter stick, and those are pretty equivalent. It's the distance from the floor to the doorknob or the handle. From the floor to the doorknob. So very similar, like the yard was the floor to the human hip. The metric is the meter, and that's the floor to the doorknob. So just a little bit taller than a leg. And then the last one is a kilometer. And if you've ever been to another country, their speed limit signs say kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour like ours do. So a kilometer is, again, similar to a mile. It's about 60%, 6/10. It's about 6/10 of a mile. So it's a little more than half a mile to go a kilometer. So we use that to measure the distance between two places. And if you haven't gotten these things written in, please do so now. It's the distance between two places. Not like the distance from our classroom to the bathroom, but like the distance from our playground to CVS, or the distance between you and the end of your neighborhood. So it's approximately 6 blocks, which means that if you're walking in the city and you walk from one light to the next, it would take 6 of those to be a kilometer, approximately. Okay, please make sure this is in your notes. Those of you who were with me yesterday already have it. If you were not with me, you need to get it in. The next slide, we're going to talk about conversions, and so we need to look back to our loop charts. So we need to be looking at now the metric length loop. We're going to start with the smallest unit, which is what? Millimeters. Good. Then we're going to go the next biggest, which is close to an inch, is centimeters. Then meters, similar to the yards, and kilometers, a little smaller than a mile. On the top, our arrows go to the right, and on the bottom, our arrows go to the left. And we're going to continue using the units of dividing on top and multiplying on the bottom. And this one's easy because it just goes 10, 100, 1,000. So divided by 10, divided by 100, divided by 1,000. And the number on top is going to match the number on the bottom. So 1,000 meters make up a kilometer. 100 centimeters make up a meter. 10 millimeters make up a centimeter. Okay, so we're going to do the conversions the exact same way. So if you finished all the other IXL skills, you can give this IXL skill a shot. So let's say I had 4 meters and I wanted centimeters. I'm going to follow my arrow. So meters to centimeters, follow my arrow, and I'm going to get 400. So 4 times 100 would be 400 centimeters. You can use the calculator on this because it does get into decimals and some bigger numbers that we haven't really talked about. The teacher's assistant can take care of getting calculators to people. They are where the lined paper is kept above on the top shelf above my binders next to the indoor recess games.